For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 57. Thank you in advance so much for all the wonderful comments and the feedback from last week's show, where we were talking about plussing and enhancing and improving your listing presentation. Today, I want to talk to you about a big problem that I see. Not just the fact that there's not a lot of inventory. I want to talk about a bigger issue that I'm seeing right now, and that is we've just become way too distracted. I mean, think about it. Like, as much as this helps solve a lot of problems, we're also spending way too much time doing this. Have you ever opened up your phone or your iPad or your laptop to check your email and woke up 3 hours later wondering, what have you done? I think a lot of people suffer from that today. The second thing that I'm seeing, another problem, is people aren't prioritizing how they're spending their time. So what happens is you come to the office, you attack the first biggest issue, and then all of a sudden it's the end of the day and all you've done is work on solving that problem or getting ready for that buyer that's going to show up in a week or two, and the day goes by and you and I both know it. You didn't feel like you accomplished much of anything. And that's a problem in our business. The other one is we just play busy. You know, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. And all these activities, as exciting as they may be, they're not the most important thing in our business. There is only one thing that matters most. I'll give you an example. I coached a young man right here in Newport Beach, and he came to me at a pivotal time in his career. He was doing about $90 million in sales, a lot of transactions. And he said, I just feel like I get overwhelmed with all this stuff, and then I stop doing the things I know I need to do. And I remember asking him, so tell me, what is it you love to do? Like, if you could just do one thing every single day. He said, I want to be on listing appointments. I said, well, then, John, you have to schedule your day around finding appointments and going on appointments. I mean, it's the blinding flash of the obvious, but it's the minutia that gets in the way. So I remember showing him something, and I want to show you the same thing. You see, in the early days of my career, studying things like neuro-linguistic programming or just human behavior, human psychology, why do we do the things that we do? One of the things we learned early on is that we know that the human mind can only focus on one thing at a time. And, in today's society where, everybody's slightly ADD or ADHD, and, I get it. I have ADD. I have attention disinterest disorder. When I'm interested, I'm all in. And when I'm not, I don't really care, right? My mind wanders. I get that. In this case, what is the focal point of your business? We know that we can only focus on one thing at a time and do it with great effort and get maximum results and try and remove all the distractions, but we have to first decide what is that thing you're going to focus on. So I remember sitting with him and I said, here's the bullseye. Like, we know what we want, right? We know the target is, let's call it signed contracts. Let's call it money in your pocket. Let's call it satisfied customers, deals closed. I said, but here's the challenge that I see. Most people get completely caught up in the drama of the day. So think about it like this. Do you know someone, maybe intimately, that gets too caught up in drama, too caught up in issues, that every day it's something new? Do you know what I'm talking about? Now, that person, they don't prioritize. They definitely play busy. They're working on their issue. They become way too distracted by the drama. I wrote about it in Life by Design, where I say, the 4 addictions, one of the big addictions is the addiction to drama, that we fall in love with. We embrace the challenges and the issues and the stress and politics and America and Clinton and Trump and right? Versus doing what matters. And by the way, we know why you actually do that. We do it because we want to avoid doing what we know we should be doing, and you can get everybody wrapped up in that drama. Do you know some people like that, maybe personally? Well, not everybody's wrapped up in the drama, but there's a big percentage of people that when I ask them, what are you working on? It's basically my projects. I'm getting organized, I'm working on my projects, I've got this going and that going and this going and that going, and I say, okay, so organization is important and completing your projects is important, but there's one thing you're missing. There's one thing above everything else that if you're not doing this one thing, you're not in the game. You're not in the business. Are you with me on this? Like, I'm being very straight with you. So, sometimes what happens in between the drama, you finally go, oh, I got all this stuff going on. Okay, I know what I need to do. I need to get organized. I clean my desk. Okay, and so now I've cleaned my desk. And then your sales manager walks by. God bless your sales manager. And they say, hey, look, you got to talk to people, right? You got to make some contacts. You got to do some activities. You got to do some open houses, go knock on some doors, do something, get out of the office. Here's the challenge though. What I've discovered is that when you focus on contacts, just like when you focus on getting organized, you focus on drama, whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you focus on expands. So the drama gets bigger, the organization takes longer. If I focus on contacts, guess what I get? I get a bunch of chicken scratches on a piece of paper. Contacts are important, but if you focus on contacts, you get contacts. Let me say it to you again. If you focus on, I need to make my 554, and you burn through your calls and you burn through your communications, but you're not thinking about what you really want, that activity is just going to be wasted time. Now, here's another big one that I see all the time. No, Tom, it's all about leads. I'm focusing on leads, man. I want to find opportunities. I want to find interested, prospects. I get that. If you focus on leads, they also expand. And yet I know some people that, and I know you've never done this before, but I know people that have their list of every lead, and they even put the dollar amount and they total it up, and then they go, oh man, 3% commission, and they begin to fantasize about all these possibilities and what it means to them, and then they stop doing what matters most. I know you've never been guilty of this, but you certainly know someone who has. So you're probably seeing a little pattern here. A lot of people focus on drama and they get more of it. A lot of people focus on being organized and they get more of it. A lot of people focus on making contacts and that's what they get. And a lot of people, they focus on generating leads, and you know what? In today's world, everybody's interested in buying or selling real estate. Maybe not right now, but they all want to do something. So leads are out there and they are plentiful. What matters most? Appointments. At the end of the day, so sitting in this meeting, Gulfstream Restaurant in Corona Del Mar, I said to him, here's the circle, right, with a little crayon, and I said, the only thing I want you focusing on is getting appointments. Getting appointments and then getting signed contracts. But the only way you get signed contracts is not through leads. You don't get signed contracts through talking to people. You don't get signed contracts through getting organized, and you certainly don't get them through drama. The only leading indicator of a healthy sales business is the number of appointments you have in your schedule. Let me say it to you again. The only leading indicator of a healthy sales business is the number of appointments you have in your schedule. Cause and effect. The more appointments I go on, the more people sign contracts, the more homes I sell, the more customers I serve, the more money I make. It's all about appointments. So if you were to stop right now and ask yourself, all right, let me just be honest. What takes up my mind space? What do I, there's the word, focus on most of the time? What do you, like when you get to the office, do you say, oh, I got to get appointments? Or when you get to the office, you say, oh, look who's sleeping with who, right? Or like, oh my goodness, look how Bob just looked at me, right? Or, oh man, I got to get myself organized. See, whatever you put your mindset on expands. Whatever you put your focus on expands. What if you walked in the office and said, I'm a lean, mean appointment setting machine. I've got to make my calls and book some appointments. I've got to follow up on some leads and book some appointments. I got to prepare for my appointments this afternoon. Appointments, 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 appointments. What do you focus on? Whatever you focus on expands. Now, let's talk about activities, right? If I was coaching you right now, I would say to you, here's the first thing I want you to do. I want you to schedule your entire day around finding appointments and going on appointments. That's it. So, and I'm just, using a hypothetical. From 9 to 11 every day, I'm in find appointment time. Like, that's what I'm doing. I'm in appointment setting time. By the way, if you call it prospecting, like Sarah, like in California, when men were looking for gold, they would go out and they try and stake their claim, and they would grab their little devices, and they'd go into the dirt and the sand, and they would shake around trying to find the gold. Like, that's prospecting. You are an appointment setter. You solve problems for a profit. You are in the service business. The more of these you go on, the more people say yes, the more people you serve. Period. End of story. Who should I call? Who cares? Who cares? You want to call for sale by owners? Do you want to call expireds? Do you want to call your past clients in Sphere? You want to just follow up on all the leads you've generated and paid for? Do you want to follow up on every person that's ever been to an open house? The opportunity, the gold is everywhere. That's the wrong question. What do I need to do today to generate 3 appointments? Who do I need to be? What kind of mindset do I need to have? What do I need to say? What kind of appointments do I want to attract? You ask yourself good questions. You're going to get amazing results, but you've got to get your mindset around, if I'm spending my time here or spending my time here and I'm not spending it here, I'm not going to make the money I want. So schedule your day around finding appointments and then spend your day on going on appointments. I think you should be going on 2 to 3 appointments a day. Now, what kind of appointments could you go on? Showing appointment, preview appointment, coffee meeting with a past client, a Sphere, an opportunity, someone that can help further your business that you can contribute and bring value to, listing appointment, potential listing appointment, listing preview opportunity. There's a lot of appointments you can be going on. The challenge is when we begin to start thinking like this and you look at, we've become too distracted, we're not prioritizing our day, we're playing busy, and we forgot about the one thing that's most important, which is be in front of customers. Opportunities, appointments, that's the whole game. Your entire day needs to be scheduled around finding and going on appointments. Now, at this point, I'm feeling like I'm almost being a little bit redundant, and that's okay, because I really want to stress the point to you. Real estate is a complicated business, right? Emotions, challenges, the buying process, the selling process, the minutia of trying to separate yourself from the competition like we did on the last week's show. All that stuff aside can be solved if you took on a little Forrest Gump mentality. Could you imagine if Forrest Gump was my personal coaching client? Okay, Tom, what do you want me to do? Forrest, I want you to spend from 9 to 11 finding people that want to meet with you and talk about real estate. Okay. Okay. Then Forrest, when you're done with that, I want you to make sure you look good, you're prepared, whatever promises you made that you were going to deliver on, you show up ready to go with that, whether it's a listing information, buyer, opportunity, update on the value of their home. Okay. And when you go on the appointments, I want you to ask questions, I want you to build rapport, I want you to bring value. Okay. How many homes would he sell every year? I don't know, 700 his first year in the business? Because he understands the power of focus. He's simplified the business. Now, second thing I wrote down is, in terms of activities, I want you to schedule 3 to 5 coffee meetings every week with prospects, with opportunities and people inside your sphere. Even if you're not going on a listing appointment, you don't have a great showing appointment, you don't have a hot opportunity you're going after, there's nothing better than sitting down with a past client. Taz, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? How's your house? What's new? How's work? Hey, Sarah, we were just talking about hockey. Are you still playing? Are you not playing? Just re-engaging with people and being social. Now, if you walk in and you're like, I need a referral, that's awkward, right? No, we know the game. Here in the Tom Ferry Show, what do? We bring value to them. How can I help them? What are their issues? What are their goals? What are their aspirations? What do they need? And I've got this giant network and all these opportunities, all these people that I know. My job is to help solve problems and help connect the dots for them and just be the recognizable source for all things real estate in their marketplace. So I think 3 to 5 coffee meetings a week should be a requirement for every real estate agent in the country. The last thing is play tag. Play tag. Play tag. Tag is the appointment game. Tag. Remember tag as a kid? Tag, you're it, right? It was kind of fun. It was a game. It was competitive. We were running around. We were really focused. I want to get you or I want to escape. I like the focus. In this case, we want to play the appointment game. And the game that I want you to play is, can I go on 20, 30, 35, 65 appointments in a month? Now remember, if it's a coffee meeting, it counts. If it's a for sale by owner preview, it counts. If it's a seller who's thinking about selling and they just want somebody to come by and take a look at the home and make some recommendations, does that count? That's a great appointment. A bona fide listing appointment is a great appointment. A first-time buyer meeting, a great appointment. A meeting with your lender where you can discuss opportunities to grow each other's business, great appointment. A great showing appointment, a second showing, third showing, fifth showing, taking out a buyer who's been fully qualified and ready to go. The bottom line is, it's a contact sport. If you're not focusing on going on appointments and booking appointments, what are you doing? Drama, getting organized, making contacts? It's that simple, my friends. I hope you get a lot of value out of this conversation. I really hope you take to heart, this is the business. This is the core of what it's all about. Be a little more Forrest Gump-like for the next 30 days. Maybe for the entire month of March or April. Challenge yourself to be an appointment-setting machine. Thanks so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, the number of appointments you have in your calendar absolutely rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.